Hello, my name is Dr. Pam Forest, and I work for the Nevada State Immunization Program. I would like to address the question, how do we know that the new COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective? To address that question, let's review the processes that apply to all new vaccines. The slide in front of you demonstrates the clinical trial process. Initially, new vaccines are tested in animals. If no adverse events occur, the vaccine developers proceed to human clinical trials. So on the left of the screen, you'll see phase 1 of the human clinical trials. Only 20 to 100 healthy adults are enrolled. Different dosages or strengths of the vaccine are administered to the participants. In the Pfizer COVID vaccine study, groups of 15 people received one dosage, while another group of 15 people received a higher dosage, and then other groups of 15 people received even higher dosages. At the end of phase 1, the dosage of the vaccine that generated the best immune response with the lowest side effects was selected. Since I mentioned side effects, let's talk about side effects for a moment. Local reactions such as injection site redness, swelling, warmth are a sign that the immune system is working. Systemic reactions such as fever, headache, and fatigue are a sign that the immune system is responding to the vaccine and making antibodies. While expected reactions, such as the ones I mentioned, are recorded, the study monitors participants for unexpected adverse events. All participants in the COVID-19 vaccine studies will be monitored for at least 1 year after they receive their booster dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Let's return to the chart. In phase 2, hundreds of participants are recruited to receive the vaccine. Safety and immune response are determined among various ages of individuals, races, ethnic groups. They try to gather a wide variety of participants. In phase 3, tens of thousands of participants are recruited to receive the vaccine. During this phase, safety and efficacy are monitored. In the current clinical trials of the COVID-19 vaccine, no children or pregnant women were involved. In the Pfizer trial, individuals ages 12 to 85 years of age were included. So you can see they recruited a variety of ages to participate. Next slide, please. Let's compare the Operation Warp Speed process to the typical process for vaccine development. The top bar is the typical process, and the bottom bar, colored bar, is the accelerated process. As you can see, it's the same process. We have the same colors of bars. It's just that with the accelerated process, the time is condensed. So let's start at the far left. Fortunately, an mRNA vaccine platform that Pfizer and Moderna are utilizing had already existed, and so that saved time. The research and development in phase 1 could be combined. So we had a 5-month process instead of an 8-month process. For clinical phases 2 and 3, Pfizer enrolled 44,000 participants, and Moderna enrolled over 25,000 participants. Usually, companies manufacture the vaccine after clinical trials have concluded. They want to manufacture a vaccine that will be licensed for use. With COVID-19 vaccine, There is no financial risk for the company because the US government will pay for the vaccine, whether it is licensed or not. So look at the brown bar on the graph. In the typical process, the manufacturing occurs after phase 1, 2, and 3 of the clinical trials has ended. You'll see in the accelerated process, that brown bar stretches from all through clinical phases 2 and 3, and it will continue while the vaccine is being distributed. Distribution plans are being formed right now so that the COVID-19 vaccine can quickly become available across the country. So we hope to have the vaccine distributed in 3 months versus the typical 6-month process. Next slide, please. General Perna, who is in charge of Operation Warp Speed, has assured us that the government is taking the financial risk. And if the COVID vaccine is not safe or effective, it will be disposed of. Next slide, please. During the clinical trials, there are independent review boards that oversee the vaccine development process. The Data Safety Monitoring Board has oversight over the manufacturer. They review clinical trial data as the clinical trials are proceeding. If they see a problem, they ask the manufacturer to pause the study, or they tell the FDA to put a hold on the study and not proceed until the problem is corrected. Before the new vaccine is licensed, the Vaccine and Related Biologic Product Advisory Committee meets. This is a group of professors and researchers and clinicians, and they review all of the data from the clinical trial process. And this review board or advisory committee tells the FDA whether they recommend that the FDA proceed with licensure, or in the case of COVID-19 vaccine, emergency use authorization. So once the vaccine finally gets through and gets the FDA emergency use authorization or licensure, then the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices meets. This again is a group of researchers, clinicians, people outside of the manufacturer, outside of the federal government. These people meet and they will review all of the data from the clinical trials. This ACIP group is powerful. They developed the immunization schedule for the United States. All physicians follow that schedule. So if the ACIP says we're not using this vaccine, all of the healthcare providers in the United States will not use the vaccine. The American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Family Practice, they all follow the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices recommendations. So as you can see, the same approval process that applies to childhood vaccines, our annual flu vaccines, and other traditional vaccines is being applied to the COVID-19 vaccine. Our COVID-19 vaccine may be issued under emergency use authorization or regular licensure. But whatever process is utilized, the vaccine will have proceeded through the same process to determine its safety and effectiveness. I hope that this presentation has answered your question. How do we know that the new COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective? As you can see, our COVID-19 vaccine whatever product we will be offered will have gone through a very rigorous process before it is released. Thank you for listening today.